quiet now. Let the weight of the day pull you deeper into the mattress. Tonight, we are traveling into the most complex structure in the known universe, your brain. But we aren't looking at the anatomy of folds and lobes. We are looking at the rivers of chemistry that flow between them. Think of your mind as a vast, dark city. During the day, the streets are flooded with the bright electric neon of dopamine and norepinephrine, the chemicals of do and go. But as the sun sets, the city lights begin to change. A different set of messengers takes over. These are the neurotransmitters of the night. They are the keys that unlock the gates of dreams. I am the sleepy professor. Tonight, we are learning about neurotransmitters and the sleeping mind. Welcome back to the observatory. Let's begin the chemical descent. To understand sleep, we have to look at the synapse. Your brain is made of 86 billion neurons, but they never actually touch. There's a tiny microscopic gap between every single one of them. Imagine two cliffs with a deep canyon between them. For a thought to move from one neuron to the next, it must throw a message across that canyon. That message is a neurotransmitter. During the day, these messages are frantic and fast. But tonight, the messages are becoming heavy. They are becoming slow. The chasm is filling with a soft chemical fog that tells your neurons to stop firing, to stop worrying, and to start drifting. Feel that fog settling into your own thoughts. There is no bridge to cross tonight. You can just stay on your side of the cliff. Sleep is governed by a simple, beautiful balance: excitation versus inhibition. Think of it like a seesaw. On one side, you have glutamate, the gas pedal of the brain. On the other, you have GABA, the brakes. All day long, you have been leaning on the gas, but now the weights are shifting. The GABA is pouring into your synapses, clicking into the receptors like a key in a lock and whispering, "Hush." As we begin our 60-minute journey, I'd love it if you gave the video a little like. It helps our quiet community of thinkers find their way to the light. And if you're still with me, tell me in the comments, do you remember the exact moment you fall asleep, or is it always a mystery? Sleep is the ultimate chemical secret. Let's find out how it's kept. You are safe. You are balanced. You are drifting into the GABA blue dark. Let's talk about adenosine. Think of it as the sleep debt collector. From the very second you woke up this morning, your brain began producing adenosine as a byproduct of using energy. Every thought you had, every step you took, added another drop of adenosine to the bucket. By now, the bucket is overflowing. This is what we call sleep pressure. Adenosine hooks onto receptors in your forebrain and slowly turns down the volume on your wakefulness. It is a physical weight, a chemical fatigue that has been building for 16 hours. You cannot argue with adenosine. It is the persistent, heavy hand of the body telling the mind that the day is over. Many of us try to fight this collector with caffeine, but caffeine is a trickster. The caffeine molecule is shaped almost exactly like adenosine. It sneaks into the receptors and blocks them,
acting like a piece of wood jammed under a brake pedal. The adenosine is still there, circling, waiting, building up even more pressure, but you just can't feel it. But eventually, the caffeine breaks down and the wood snaps. All that built-up adenosine rushes in at once. This is the caffeine crash. But tonight, there are no tricks. The receptors are open. The adenosine is landing softly, like snow on a silent field. Let the pressure take you. It is a natural gift. It is the body's way of saying, you have done enough. While adenosine builds the pressure, the glymphatic system prepares for the wash. When you sleep, your brain cells literally shrink by 60%. This creates space for cerebrospinal fluid to flush through the brain, washing away the metabolic waste, including the day's adenosine. It is a nightly plumbing service for your soul. Imagine a cool, clear mountain stream flowing through the pathways of your mind, taking the grit and the heat of the day away to the sea. You are being cleaned. You are being cleared. By the time we reach the 20-minute mark, your mind is becoming a pristine, empty room, ready for the dreams to move in.
Deep in the center of your brain, in a tiny pine cone-shaped gland called the pineal gland, a transformation is occurring. As the blue light from the sky fades, your brain begins to convert serotonin, the chemical of daytime mood, into melatonin. We call melatonin the vampire hormone because it only comes out in the dark. It is the starting pistol for the race of sleep. It doesn't actually put you to sleep itself. Rather, it sends a systemic memo to every organ, every cell, and every strand of DNA saying, the darkness has arrived. Begin the nighttime protocols. It is the conductor's baton, signaling the orchestra to move from the frantic allegro of the day to the slow, heavy adagio of the night. How does the pineal gland know when to start? It takes its orders from a tiny cluster of cells just above your optic nerves called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, or the SCN. Think of the SCN as the master chronometer of your life. It is directly plugged in to your eyes. Even with your eyelids closed, the SCN can sense the thinning of the light. When it detects the absence of blue photons, it stops sending stay awake signals to the rest of the brain. It is the bridge between the rotation of the Earth and the chemistry of your blood. You are a planetary being. Your sleep isn't just a personal choice, it is a rhythmic response to the spinning of the globe. Feel that celestial timing in your pulse. You are perfectly on schedule. In our modern world, we trick the suprachiasmatic nucleus with our screens and our bright LEDs. We tell the master clock that it is still midday, even at midnight. But tonight, we are letting the trickery end. Imagine your room is a cool, dark cave. As the melatonin levels rise in your bloodstream, your core body temperature begins to drop. Your heart rate slows by a few beats per minute. Your breath becomes shallower and more rhythmic. The GABA we spoke of earlier is now flooding the thalamus, the gateway to the senses. The gates are closing. The world outside is being locked away.
By the 30-minute mark, you aren't just lying down, you are chemically transitioning into a different state of matter. You are becoming the night. Why don't you hear the hum of the refrigerator or the distant sound of a car when you are deep in sleep? It is because of the thalamus. The thalamus is the grand central station of the brain. Every sight, every sound, and every touch must pass through this station before it reaches the conscious part of your brain, the cortex. But during sleep, the neurotransmitter GABA acts like a heavy velvet curtain pulled across the station windows. The signals are still coming in from your ears and your skin, but the thalamus refuses to let them through. It is the ultimate do not disturb sign. You are in a sensory fortress protected by a chemical shield. If we were to look at your brainwaves right now, we would see something beautiful. In this early stage of sleep, your brain produces sudden, rapid bursts of rhythmic activity called sleep spindles. These are generated by the conversation between the thalamus and the cortex. Each spindle is a moment where the brain is actively shielding itself from noise, ensuring that you stay in the quiet. It is also the moment where the brain begins to move memories from temporary storage to long-term archives. It's like a librarian quickly shelving books in the middle of the night so the aisles are clear for morning. Every spindle is a tiny victory for your rest. Your brain is working hard to make sure you do absolutely nothing. As the thalamus closes the gates, the prefrontal cortex, the part of you that plans, worries, and judges, begins to power down. This is the executive of your mind. It's the voice that reminds you of your to-do list or that awkward thing you said 3 years ago. But under the influence of the nighttime neurotransmitters, this area loses its grip. The self begins to dissolve. You are no longer a person with a name and a history. You are just a collection of peaceful sensations. You are a breath. You are a warmth. You are a heartbeat. At the 40-minute mark, the ego has left the building. Only the dreamer remains. As we pass 40 minutes, your brainwaves undergo a profound transformation. The jagged, fast beta waves of the waking world have vanished. In their place come the delta waves. These are the slowest, highest amplitude waves the human brain can produce. They are long, rolling pulses of electricity, moving at only 1 to 4 cycles per second. If your waking brain is a busy beehive, your sleeping brain is now a deep, resonant bell, tolling in the dark. In this state, your consciousness is at its most distant. It is the closest we come to the stillness of the stone. You are no longer thinking, you are simply being in the most fundamental way possible. Every delta wave is a deep, restorative stroke through the waters of the night. While your mind is in the delta depths, your pituitary gland, the master gland at the base of your brain, receives a chemical signal. It begins to release a massive surge of growth hormone. In children, this is for growing taller, but for you tonight, it is the hormone of repair. It is the maintenance crew of the body. It travels through your bloodstream, fixing micro tears in your muscles, synthesizing new proteins in your skin and strengthening your immune system. This surge only happens in deep, slow-wave sleep. You cannot buy this repair. You can only earn it through the silence of the delta wave. Your body is a temple being renovated in the dark. You are being put back together, cell by cell, while you drift. In this deep state, your metabolism drops to its lowest point. Your body temperature falls to its nightly minimum. Your brain, which usually consumes 20% of your body's energy, finally enters a low-power mode. The neurotransmitter GABA is now at its peak, suppressing the arousal centers of the brainstem. The fire is banked. The coals are glowing. This is the most physically restorative part of the night. As we reach the 50-minute mark, imagine that cooling sensation. Your forehead is cool. Your limbs are heavy. You are a biological engine that has finally come to a complete, peaceful stop. The world is spinning, but you are still. But the brain is a restless traveler. After about 20 minutes in the delta depths, the chemistry shifts again. The delta waves begin to break apart. A sudden surge of acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter of focus and learning, rushes up from the brainstem. Welcome to REM sleep, rapid eye movement. This is the paradoxical sleep. If I were to look at your brain waves now, they would look almost exactly like you are awake. Your heart rate flickers, your eyes dart beneath your lids. Your brain has suddenly become a theater, and the lights are coming up. But there is one crucial difference. You are a prisoner in your own bed. In this deep state, your metabolism drops to its lowest point. Your body temperature falls to its nightly minimum. Your brain, which usually consumes 20% of your body's energy, finally enters a low-power mode. The neurotransmitter GABA is now at its peak, suppressing the arousal centers of the brainstem. The fire is banked, the coals are glowing. This is the most physically restorative part of the night. As we reach the 50-minute mark, imagine that cooling sensation. Your forehead is cool, your limbs are heavy. You are a biological engine that has finally come to a complete, peaceful stop. The world is spinning, but you are still. But the brain is a restless traveler. After about 20 minutes in the delta depths, the chemistry shifts again. The delta waves begin to break apart. A sudden surge of acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter of focus and learning, rushes up from the brainstem. Welcome to REM sleep, rapid eye movement. This is the paradoxical sleep. If I were to look at your brain waves now, they would look almost exactly like you were awake. Your heart rate flickers, your eyes dart beneath your lids. Your brain has suddenly become a theater, and the lights are coming up. But there is one crucial difference. You are a prisoner in your own bed. Why don't you get up and act out your dreams? Why don't you run when you dream of running? It is because of two neurotransmitters, GABA and glycine. As your brain enters REM, these chemicals flood the motor neurons in your spinal cord. They act like a chemical off switch for your muscles. This is atonia, a healthy temporary paralysis of the body. Only your heart, your diaphragm for breathing, and your eye muscles remain free. Your body is safely locked in park while your mind takes the Ferrari for a drive through the landscapes of the imagination. You are a ghost in a machine that has been safely put to bed. Feel that weightlessness. You couldn't move even if you wanted to, and that is the ultimate freedom. In REM sleep, something else happens. Norepinephrine, the chemical of stress and anxiety, is completely shut off. This is the only time in your entire life that your brain is free of stress chemistry. This allows you to process the emotional events of the day without the sting of the anxiety that came with them. REM is overnight therapy. You are reliving your memories in a safe chemical cocoon. By the time we reach the 1-hour mark, your mind is weaving your experiences into the tapestry of your life, stripping away the pain and keeping the lessons. You are dreaming your way to a better tomorrow. You are a weaver of stories. You are a master of the paradox. Imagine a small curved structure deep in the temporal lobe of your brain. This is the hippocampus, named after the seahorse it resembles. All day long, the hippocampus has been acting as your brain's short-term intake desk. It recorded the face of the person you passed in the hall, the taste of your lunch, and the facts you read on your screen. But the hippocampus has a limited capacity. It is a small shelf, and by the end of the day, it is crowded and messy. If you don't clear it tonight, you won't have room for new memories tomorrow. During sleep, a burst of electrical signals called sharp wave ripples begins to move the files. It is the sound of the brain uploading the day to the permanent archives of the cortex. The cortex is the vast, wrinkled outer layer of your brain. This is where your long-term memories live. As you drift, the hippocampus whispers to the cortex, replaying the events of the day at 10 times their original speed. This is memory consolidation. Your brain is deciding what is a classic worth keeping for 20 years and what is a tabloid that can be thrown away by morning. This process is highly dependent on the neurotransmitter acetylcholine. It acts like a highlighter, marking the important connections so they stick. You aren't just sleeping, you are building the story of who you are. You are becoming a more knowledgeable version of yourself, one synapse at a time. Have you ever gone to bed with a problem and woken up with the answer? That is the work of the sleeping mind. Because the stress chemical norepinephrine is absent, your brain can make connections between ideas that would seem too crazy or unrelated during the day. It is a period of radical creativity. Your brain is cross-referencing new information with things you learned 10 years ago. It is finding the patterns. As you reach the 70-minute mark, trust that your inner librarian is working for you. The puzzle pieces are clicking together while you breathe. You are solving the world simply by letting it go. While the memories are being shelved, your serotonin system is undergoing a vital reset. Serotonin is often called the feel-good chemical, but its true job is stability. It keeps your mood from swinging too high or too low. During the day, your serotonin neurons are firing constantly, but during REM sleep, they go completely silent for the only time in 24 hours. This rest allows the receptors to regain their sensitivity. It's like a sponge being squeezed dry so it can absorb more water tomorrow. This is why a lack of sleep makes us irritable and emotional. The sponge never got a chance to reset. Tonight, your serotonin sponge is becoming fresh and new. You are preparing for a brighter, steadier morning. As serotonin takes its break, dopamine occasionally flickers in the background. Dopamine is the chemical of reward and prediction. In our dreams, it's what gives our visions their drive and their strange hallucinatory intensity. It's why dreams often feel like an adventure or a quest, even if the logic doesn't quite hold up. You are moving through a chemical landscape where the rules of gravity and social consequence don't apply. You are in a safe, private theater where the only audience is you. Let the colors of the dream brighten. Let the story take you where it wants to go. You are the dreamer and the dream, woven together by the threads of the night. The GABA in your system has created a profound heaviness in your limbs. Your muscles are so relaxed they feel like they are merging with the bed. Your jaw is loose. Your shoulders have dropped an inch lower. You are a biological system in a state of total, trusting surrender. The chemistry of vigilance has been replaced by the chemistry of peace. There are no threats here. There is only the long, slow curve toward the second hour of your rest. You are sinking. You are drifting. You are safe. Why don't you get up and act out your dreams? Why don't you run when you dream of running? It is because of two neurotransmitters, GABA and glycine. As your brain enters REM, these chemicals flood the motor neurons in your spinal cord. They act like a chemical off switch for your muscles. This is atonia, a healthy temporary paralysis of the body. Only your heart, your diaphragm for breathing, and your eye muscles remain free. Your body is safely locked in park while your mind takes the Ferrari for a drive through the landscapes of the imagination. You are a ghost in a machine that has been safely put to bed. Feel that weightlessness. You couldn't move even if you wanted to, and that is the ultimate freedom. In REM sleep, something else happens. Norepinephrine, the chemical of stress and anxiety, is completely shut off. This is the only time in your entire life that your brain is free of stress chemistry. This allows you to process the emotional events of the day without the sting of the anxiety that came with them. REM is overnight therapy. You are reliving your memories in a safe chemical cocoon. By the time we reach the 1 hour mark, your mind is weaving your experiences into the tapestry of your life, stripping away the pain and keeping the lessons. You are dreaming your way to a better tomorrow. You are a weaver of stories. You are a master of the paradox. Human sleep is not a flat line. It is a staircase. Every 90 minutes, your brain completes a full circuit. from the light shadows of stage 1 down into the deep delta wells of stage 3 and back up into the vivid theater of REM. In the first half of the night, your brain prioritizes the deep, slow wave sleep, the physical repair, and the glymphatic wash we spoke of earlier. But as the night progresses, the balance shifts. Your REM periods become longer and more intense. By the time we reach the end of our 2.5-hour voyage, you will have completed your first major cycle and be entering the second. Your brain is a rhythmic engine, pulsing with the tides of acetylcholine and GABA, rising and falling like the chest of the ocean. As you transition between these cycles, the thalamus, your sensory gatekeeper, briefly loosens its grip. This is why you might roll over, adjust your pillow, or momentarily surface into a semi-conscious state before diving back down. These brief micro-arousals are perfectly natural. They are your brain's way of checking the perimeter, ensuring the cave is still safe, before committing to another 90 minutes of total surrender. You don't need to do anything during these moments. Just let the weight of the adenosine pull you back under. The water is warm. The current is steady. You are just a passenger on the waltz.
Your body temperature has reached a stable, cool plateau. Your muscles are at their most atonal, completely relaxed, almost liquid. The neurotransmitter glycine is standing guard at the base of your brain, keeping your limbs still while your mind begins to explore the second cycle. You are a biological masterpiece of efficiency. While you do nothing, you are accomplishing everything. You are healing, you are learning, and you are resting. Take a slow, deep breath. You are exactly where you are supposed to be in the architecture of the night. As we enter the second hour and 30 minutes, the REM periods begin to lengthen. In this state, a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala becomes highly active. The amygdala is the center of your emotions. During the day, it reacts to stress and fear, but in the sleeping mind, it works without the interference of the logical prefrontal cortex. This is why dreams feel so emotionally real, even if the events are impossible. You might feel intense joy, profound mystery, or a strange sense of longing. This is the amygdala processing your emotional data, filing away the feelings of the day so they don't weigh you down tomorrow. You are having a chemical catharsis. You are clearing the emotional slate. Why don't we find it strange when we can fly in a dream, or when a house turns into a forest? It is because the neurotransmitter norepinephrine is still absent. Without this chemical of alertness and logic, the brain loses its ability to be surprised. It accepts the dream as total reality. This allows for a kind of radical, creative problem-solving that is impossible when you are awake. Your brain is testing scenarios, playing with the what-ifs of your life in a safe, simulated environment. You are a director, an actor, and an audience all at once. The theater is dark, and the show is just for you. Underpinning all of this is acetylcholine. It is the electric chemical of REM sleep.
It triggers the rapid eye movements and the high-frequency brain waves. It is the reason your dreams are so vivid, so colorful, and so detailed. As we reach the 100-minute mark, imagine your mind as a canvas being painted with light. You aren't thinking in words anymore. You are thinking in symbols, in colors, and in sensations. The logic of the sun is gone. The magic of the moon has taken over. You are floating in the acetylcholine sea. To understand why you don't suddenly wake up in the middle of a dream, we have to look at a chemical called orexin, also known as hypocretin. Think of orexin as the master of ceremonies for wakefulness. It is produced by a tiny cluster of neurons in the hypothalamus. During the day, orexin acts like a heavy finger pressing down on the on switch, keeping the brain's arousal centers active. But right now, the finger has been lifted. The neurotransmitter GABA has successfully inhibited the orexin neurons. This is the flip-flop switch. It is a mutually inhibitory system. When sleep is on, wakefulness is chemically suppressed. You are locked into the sleep position by a biological deadbolt. You are stable. You are secure. The commander of this switch is the ventrolateral preoptic nucleus, or VLPO. This is the sleep-active center of your brain. While the rest of your mind is quiet, the VLPO is firing rapidly, broadcasting a chemical hush to every part of the brain that could wake you up. It is the librarian walking through the stacks, ensuring every lamp is dimmed. It is particularly sensitive to the adenosine we spoke of earlier. As the adenosine levels stay high, the VLPO stays strong. You are under the protection of the commander. The borders of your consciousness are patrolled by the quietest guards in the universe. At 1 hour and 50 minutes, the buffer between you and the waking world is at its thickest. The acetylcholine is weaving the dreams, the GABA is maintaining the silence, and the orexin is fast asleep. Your brain is a closed circuit. If a floorboard creaks or a distant dog barks, the signal reaches your ears, but the VLPO and the thalamus work together to drown it out before it reaches yourself. You are wrapped in a chemical cocoon that is miles deep. Let the weight of that safety sink into your bones. There is no on switch tonight, only the deep, resonant off. As we pass the 110-minute mark, your brain is performing a task called synaptic homeostasis. During the day, every time you learn something, your synapses, the connections between neurons, get stronger and larger. But if this continued forever, your brain would run out of energy and space. It would be saturated. Sleep is the great reset. In a process called downscaling, your brain subtly weakens the connections that aren't important while preserving the ones that are. It's like a sculptor removing the excess clay to reveal the statue inside. You are being refined. You are being streamlined. You are becoming a more efficient version of yourself while you breathe. Your neurotransmitters are also regulating your internal climate. The hypothalamus has shifted your set point for temperature. Your body is shedding heat through your hands and feet, which is why they often feel warm when you are sleepy. This drop in core temperature is a chemical signal to the brain that the deep work of the night is in progress. You are a cooling engine. The thermal energy of the day is radiating away into the cool air of the room. This cooling is essential for the slow-wave sleep to remain stable. You are a cool, quiet hearth. We have reached the 2-hour mark. We have only 30 minutes remaining in our 150-minute neuro voyage. We have explored the pressure of adenosine, the conducted baton of melatonin, the velvet chains of glycine, and the library of the hippocampus. Your brain has finished its first major cycle and is now well into its second. The heavy physical repair of the first cycle is done. Now the work becomes more about the spirit, the memory, and the dream. You are in the deep blue heart of the night. The surface is a long way off. You are exactly where you need to be. Imagine the surface of your neurons as a busy sidewalk that has been crowded all day. The receptors, those tiny docking stations for neurotransmitters, have been hit by a constant barrage of signals. They are tired. They are slightly desensitized. But now, in the quiet of the second hour, the brain is performing receptor downregulation. It is cleaning the docks. It is pulling back some receptors and refreshing others, ensuring that when you wake up, a single molecule of dopamine or serotonin will once again feel crisp and clear. You are regaining your sensitivity to joy, to focus, and to the beauty of the world. You are being chemically retuned like a fine instrument. Listen to the silence of the strings. They are being tightened one by one in the dark. Even now, while you are at your deepest point of rest, the brain is beginning to look toward the horizon. Deep in the adrenal glands, the very first microscopic drops of cortisol are beginning to stir. This isn't the stress cortisol of a deadline. This is the awakening response. It is a slow chemical sunrise that begins hours before you actually open your eyes. It is the body's way of ensuring that the engine is warm before it's time to drive. But for now, the levels are infinitesimally low. The melatonin is still the king of the blood. The fire is still banked. You have plenty of time left in the shadow. You are a biological clock ticking perfectly toward a morning that is still a world away.
In this final stretch of the second hour, the self is at its most fluid. The neurotransmitter acetylcholine is at its highest levels, fueling the most complex and creative dreams of the night. You might find yourself solving problems you didn't even know you had, or visiting places that only exist in the geography of your soul. Your brain is a master architect, building worlds out of nothing but memory and starlight. You are not a person in a bed. You are a consciousness exploring the infinite. Let the logic go. Let the gravity dissolve. You are a passenger on a chemical cloud. The glymphatic wash we spoke of earlier has finished its main cycle. The brain is clean. Now the microglia, the immune cells of the brain, are doing their final rounds. They are like tiny, intelligent shears,
cutting away the noise of yesterday. They are removing the weak synaptic connections that don't serve your future. This is why things that seemed like a big deal yesterday often feel small and manageable in the morning. Your brain has literally pruned away the physical structure of the worry. It has simplified the map. You are waking up to a cleaner, sharper, and more essential version of your own mind. You are the garden, and the gardener is a genius. While the pruning happens, the amygdala and the hippocampus are finishing their secret conversation. They are tagging your memories with the correct emotional weight. This is the therapy of the night. You are integrating your experiences into your wisdom. The sting of a mistake is being replaced by the strength of a lesson. You are a biological alchemist, turning the lead of daily stress into the gold of life experience. The neurotransmitters of the night, the GABA and the glycine, are keeping your body perfectly still so this delicate work can be completed. You are a laboratory of peace. As we reach the 140-minute mark, the boundaries of your mind have become transparent. The heavy ego of the day is gone. The mask you wear for the world is folded neatly on the chair. You are just a pulse. You are just a rhythm. You are a collection of 86 billion neurons, all whispering the same word: rest. The neurotransmitters have done their job. The gates are locked. The library is organized. The city is quiet. You are ready for the final descent into the deepest, most dreamless state of all.
Our voyage into the neurochemistry of sleep is drawing to a close. We have seen the sleep pressure of adenosine and the vampire call of melatonin. We have felt the velvet chains of glycine and the creative fire of acetylcholine. But now I want you to forget the science. Forget the names of the glands and the structures. They were just stories to keep the thinking brain busy while the feeling brain took over. The true miracle of your mind isn't the molecules, it's the surrender. It's the fact that you can let go of everything you know and trust that your biology will bring you back. You are a traveler who has reached the furthest point of the journey. The light in the observatory is turning to a deep, dark indigo. The charts of the neurotransmitters are being rolled up and placed in their tubes. The room is perfectly silent. The air is perfectly still. Your breathing is a slow, rhythmic lullaby that you are singing to yourself. The sleep-wake switch is firmly in the off position, and it will stay there for many hours more. You have traveled 2 hours and 30 minutes away from the world of the sun. You are safe. You are chemically balanced. You are home. The magnification is gone. The chemicals have found their equilibrium. I am the sleepy professor, and my watch at the synapse is over for tonight. The library of your mind is closed for the evening, and the librarian is going to sleep too. You have learned the secrets of the sleeping mind, and now it is time to live them. The world is in good hands. Your mind is in good hands. You are asleep. Good night, master of the synapse. Good night,
good night.